Hey. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. I'm Guy Newcomb. I'll be with you. Well, tonight I'll be with you as long as I can. I don't know if you can tell that I'm losing my voice here, but it's been a day, and it's been some great games going on tonight. We hope to hear from some coaches, provided everything goes well. Alan Hilliard will also be joining us here in a bit. Hey, you can message me right here on the chat. Go to Facebook and like us on Facebook, and then you can actually go right into chat and chat with us here. It'll pop up on the screen, and it will pop up on the screen, or you can go to YouTube and subscribe. At 272 new subscribers here, and a big night tonight on Twitter. I know there's 20 people already tuned in, but hey, give us a like, give us a shout out. Let us know where you were and what games you saw or watched, or what game you watched tonight. Anyway, let's get right to the scoreboard. We've reached out to a few coaches here already, but finals from tonight. Actually, let's go back and I apologize. I'll do the finals from last night first. Here you go to scoreboardguy.net or go to Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Scores from last night brought to you by Laiuna Labor's Local 663, who reminds us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. It was McClure over Parkway Central last night, 18-12. Parkway North defeats Parkway West, 32-14. Pembroke Hill, 65-20 over St. Mary's of Kansas. It's Rockwood Summit, 38, and Ladue, 35. And Seckman, they go to 7-0 as they defeat Parkway South, 28-7. Scores that we have at this time. Also, last night, MICDS defeated Lutheran South, 66-19. Scores in 8-man football brought to you by Bambinos. Hey, head out to Bambinos every Monday at 11:30. Get you some food. It's $10. And come up to the quarterback club. Get to hear from coaches from around Southwest Missouri at the college and high school level. Bambino's Italian Cafe at Beast Battlefield and Lone Pine. On the 8-man football scoreboard from tonight, it was Albany over Stanberry, 46-6. Archie defeats Jasper, 57-8. It was Nottoway Holt over South Holt, 50-0. Plattsburgh defeats Northland Christian, 80-10. It was Paris over Southwest, 56-0. Bramer defeats Schuyler County, 64-34. Platte Valley over Stewartsville, 52-0. Page 2, Class 1 scores. Brought to you by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks sponsoring our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Male and Female Athletes of the Week, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. It was Western over Crestridge, 42-0. Caruthersville defeats Hayti, 48-16. It was Salisbury over Louisiana, 24-8. Midway defeats Colcamp, 22-14. Mid Buchanan over North Platte, 41-21. Elsewhere in Class 2, not a lot of scores coming in, but Centralia did defeat South Shelby, 28-14. And Thayer over Ava, 34-8. Valley Catholic defeats Park Hill Central, 50-0. And Fairgrove defeats Reed Spring, 49-8. Fairgrove now 7-0. Class 3 was Nevada, narrowly over Cassville, 27-22. Savannah defeats Chillicothe, 49-6. Blair Oaks shuts out Eldon, 63-0, and a new career scoring record for their kicker at Blair Oaks. And we'll tell you more about that as the evening goes along. It's Herculaneum over Bayless, 13-9. John Burroughs defeats Westminster Christian, 35-10. It was Dexter over Kennett, 53-0. Mountain Grove defeats Salem, 60-6. Oak Grove over Kansas City Central, 50-0. Excuse me. It was Osage over Boonville 33-7. Seneca defeats McDonald County 49-21. Borgia over Holt 21-7. St. Pius X over Benton 57-0. In Class 4 was Carbondale, Illinois over Soldan 53-8. Branson defeats Carl Junction 40-7. Branson 7-0 on the season. It was Gateway over Confluence Prep 31-6. Bolivar defeats Hillcrest 48-7. Logan Rogersville over Marshfield 34-26. Perryville defeats Marquette Catholic out of Illinois 49-14. It was North County over Windsor 14-12. Smithville defeats Pittsburgh, Kansas 35-21. Kearney over Raytown South 50-0. And Jackson defeats Sykeston 55-12. Elsewhere, Carthage defeats Republic 31-5. Now on to Class, the Bank of Billings. The Bank of Billings established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. One Class 6 score to report, and that's CBC over Vianney 63-6. I do know that Nixa defeated Waynesville 42-0, and it was Lee Summit North 35-13 over Liberty North. Tomorrow's games on the schedule will be KIPP KC Legacy versus Christ Prep out of Kansas. Pleasant Hope travels to Hogan Prep. Hazelwood East will be at McClure North. University City will be at Normandy. Rich Hill will be at Osceola. And Live for Life will be at Roosevelt. St. Michael will be at University Academy. Checking other sources here on our scoreboard. Platte Valley over Stewartsville 52-0. East Atchison defeats DeKalb 70-24. Was Pembroke Hill, as I mentioned, 65-20 over St. Mary's. CBC over Vianney 63-3. St. Pius X out of Festus 23-6 at half over Miller. That was the last score we have. Let's see if we can update that and get that more convenient. Again, you're listening to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Finals, SLU defeats Chaminade 31-21. Elsewhere at North County over Windsor 14-12. Polo defeating Marceline 35-13. In the fourth quarter, Fort Osage was on top of Raytown 51-25. Jefferson out of Festus, they defeat Grandview 20-12. Green Valley defeats Belton 57-22. Liberty in the fourth quarter leads Fort Zumwalt East 35-12. Final score, Howell defeats Timberland 56-26. Eureka, they stay perfect on the season. They defeat Lafayette and hand them their first loss 30-15. It was DeSmet over Festus 42-13. Park Hill in the fourth quarter leads St. Joe Central 49-23. Was Van Far, they defeat Wright City 40-34. Windsor over Versailles 60-14. Webb City defeats Willard 41-6. And last report, Rittenhour was on top of Webster Groves 30-0. Nixa defeats Waynesville 42-0. Valley Catholic out of St. Genevieve, they defeat Park Hill Central 50-0. Was Trenton over Maysville, that was in the fourth quarter 48-22. Thayer defeats Ava 34-8. St. Genevieve in the fourth quarter leads Fredericktown 28-19. Also in the fourth quarter, St. Vincent, as they look to stay perfect, they lead Cuba 49-8. St. Pius X on top of Benton, and that game has gone final, 57-0. In the fourth quarter, St. Joe Christian leads King City 34-20. Also in the fourth, Sullivan on top of St. James, 28-20. St. Francis Borgia leads Holt, or they defeat Holt, 21-7. Elsewhere, St. Clair defeats Herman, 55-26. Warrenton, and I believe they're 7-0 as well. They defeat St. Charles 35-0. In the fourth quarter, Springfield Catholic leading Buffalo 35-26. Final score, Centralia defeats South Shelby 28-14. In the fourth, South Callaway on top of Fayette 14-6. Jackson leads Sikeston, or they defeat Sikeston 55-12. Seneca defeats McDonald County in Big 8 action 49-21. In the third quarter, it's Charleston on top of Scott City 30-14. Final score from Scotland County is Putnam County defeats Scotland County 26-14. Rolla defeats St. Dominic 33-6. Rockhurst, they fall again, back-to-back weeks. The number one ranked team in the state in Class 6. They lose again to St. Thomas Aquinas, 14-13. In the fourth, Richmond on top of Holden, 34-20. Carthage, its final 31-14 over Republic. Raytown South falls to Kearney, 50-0. Orchard Farm, in the fourth quarter, they lead Principia 60-13. And in the fourth, West Plains and Poplar Bluff all tied up at 28. Platte County defeats Truman 77-7. Smithville, they defeat Pittsburgh at 35-21. And Penny in the fourth quarter leads Lathrop 48-7. Elsewhere, final in overtime as Clark County defeats Palmyra 34-28. Glendale narrowly over Ozark 22-21, a good win for Glendale, back-to-back weeks. In the fourth, Owensville leads Union 28-21. Final score from Osage as they defeat Boonville 33-7. In the fourth quarter, Sweet Springs leads Orrick 46-14. Also in the fourth, Pleasant Hill on top of Odessa 35-21. Final score, Oak Grove defeats Kansas City Central 50-0. In the fourth quarter, Northwest on top of Slater 34-30. Also in the fourth, Mount Vernon leads Parkview 49-18. Mountain Grove, they defeat Salem 60-6. Rockport over Mound City 46-16. In the fourth quarter, Lamar leads Monette 45-22. Final score, Midway defeats Colcamp 22-14. Also a final, Kirksville, they defeat Mexico 28-18. Perryville defeats Marquette out of Alton, Illinois 49-14. North Callaway defeats Mark Twain 26-20. Marionville, they defeat Sarcoxy 36-22, and they stay undefeated on the season. Salisbury over Louisiana 24-8. In the fourth quarter, Lincoln leads Lone Jack 46-26. Logan Rogersville, back-to-back wins for the Wildcats as they defeat Marshall 34-26. And Lockwood puts up probably our highest point total of the night as they defeat New Heights Christian 92-58. Appleton City over Liberal 68-0. Was Lee Summit defeating Ray-Pec 42-0. Boy, Ray-Pec has just kind of fallen off there. They're 0-6 now on the season. Lawson defeats Monroe City 39-20. In the fourth, Lafayette County on top of Knobnoster 35-13. Final score, Knox County defeats North Shelby 48-34. Lebanon, coming off a really hard week for the Lebanon Yellow Jackets, losing a player, running a half marathon, and collapses at the finish line. Junior Savalos, number 4. So, but Lebanon gets a win during a very tough week for the Yellow Jackets, 49-21 over Kickapoo. Dexter They defeat Kennett 53-0. East Prairie over Kelly 40-20. Elsewhere, Joplin, they hand Neosho their second loss of the season, 35-14. Was James Burroughs 35-10 over Westminster Christian. Houston defeats Willow Springs 49-6. Bolivar defeats Hillcrest 48-7. Macon 56-12 over Highland. Herculaneum, they defeat Bayless 13-9. Pattonville defeats Hazelwood Central 27-0. Caruthersville 48-16 over Hayti. Hannibal defeats Moberly 56-18. In the fourth quarter, Southern Boone leads Hallsville 48-20. Final score, Excelsior Springs defeats Grandview 21-8. Milan defeats Gallatin 38-12. Marshall over Fulton 42-35. It was Stratford in a very close game until the end, but Stratford does extend it, and they get their seventh win of the season as they defeat Forsyth 49-33. Cape Central over Farmington 54-14. Fairgrove defeats Reed Spring 49-8. El Dorado Springs defeats Sherwood 27-20. East Buchanan shuts out West Platte 27-0. Crystal City defeats Duchesne 22-7. West Strand defeats Crestridge 42-0. Clever on top of Hollister in the fourth, 28-12. Elsewhere, East Buchanan defeats West Platte 27-0. Crystal City over Duchesne 22-7. Harrisonville, they defeat Clinton 12-0. Nevada defeats Cassville 27-22. Carrollton defeats Lexington 23-20. Branson over Carl Junction 40-7. With 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the Camdenton-Hickman game, Camdenton on top 38-21. Warsaw defeats Butler. I think that may be wrong there. Let me check this real quick, but I thought I had. Yeah, Warsaw defeats Butler 13-6. Brookfield, they hang on. They defeat South Harrison 48-6. Rockbridge over Columbia Battle 49-12. Aurora, they defeat East Newton 26-21. Good win for Aurora. Ash Grove over Springfield Central 24-6. Albany defeats Stanberry 46-6. Was Adrian over California 35-0. Fort Zumwalt North defeats Fort Zumwalt South 35-14. Harrisburg on top of Russellville 46-8 in the fourth. Tipton, they defeat Lynn 58-12. It was Elias really blowing up Jeff City 51-0. Blair Oaks also with a 63-0 win over Eldon. Mid Buchanan over North Platte 41-21. Bramer defeats Schuyler County 64-34. It was Gateway over Confluence Prep 31-6. And Seckman last night, as I mentioned, they defeat Parkway South 28-7. Parkway North over Parkway West 32-14 yesterday. Rockwood Summit 38-35 over Ladue yesterday. Pembroke Hill yesterday defeats St. Mary 65-20. And McClure 18-12 over Parkway Central. And that Will Jennings, let's see, that was last Saturday, so we won't even mention that. But you're listening to the Missouri Sports Network here Friday Night Live on the Missouri Sports Network. I'm Guy Newcomb. Hey, shoot us a message. Go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe. And hey, shoot us a message right here on a little chat. Let us know you're listening. I know there's 175 live viewers right now here on Restream. Certainly glad you've tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe. Be smart. and be here when we get back after this commercial break.
I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So,
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support. For life. Great Southern Bank. Understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate! Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. Here, my name's Guy Newcomb. I'll be with you as long as I can. As you can tell, I'm losing my voice here just a little bit. We'll run through, for those of you just tuning in, we will run through the scores as we have them at this time and see what else has gone final here in the last few minutes here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Invite you to go to the website, MissouriSportsNetwork.com. Check out their Athletes of the Week, Teams of the Week, and the various other shows that we have going on throughout the week. And sign up and follow us at Scoreboard Guy on Twitter or at Missouri_sports on Twitter as well. And again, hey, send us a message here. Expect to be hearing from Warsaw head football coach Brian Boyer here in just about a few minutes. We'll get through as many scores as we can in that time. And our audio is not right. Our box is not working here, so it's going to be a little bit difficult maybe to take a phone call, but I've got some folks in the green room, and hopefully they'll let me know if they can hear the coach, because I'll be able to hear him. I just want to make sure that you can hear him. And we should be being joined here in a moment by Alan Hilliard. He's going to jump in the green room here as well. But first off, let's run through the scores. It was Platte Valley over Stewartsville, 52-0. East Atchison defeats DeKalb, 70-24. It was Pembroke Hill over St. Mary's out of Kansas, 65-20. Carbondale, Illinois defeats Soldan, 53-8. It was St. Teresa over Priory, 27-21. CBC defeats Vianney 63-3. SLU, St. Louis University High School, the Junior Bills, they defeat Chaminade 31-21. It was North County over Windsor 14-12. Polo defeats Marceline 35-13. Blue Springs over Park Hill South 61-17. It was Lee Summit North over Liberty North. Big game there. Number 4 and number 9. And Liberty North was number 9. They were defending Class 6 state champions. Lee Summit North comes in ranked number 4, and they stay perfect on the season. We have reached out to Jason Rogers, the head coach at Lee Summit North. 35-13, they win. Fort Osage on top of Raytown 51-25 in the fourth quarter. Jefferson defeats Grandview 20-12. It was Green Valley over Belton, 57-22. In the fourth, Liberty on top of Fort Zumwalt East, 35-12. Howell, they defeat Timberland, 56-26. It was Eureka over Lafayette, 30-15. Eureka stays perfect on the season. And hands Lafayette their first loss. DeSmet over Festus, 42-13. As Festus, I believe, suffers their first loss of the season. Park Hill on top of St. Joe Central, 49-23 in the fourth. Final scores: Blue Springs South defeats Liberty, 41-24. Van Far defeats Wright City, 40-34. It was Windsor over Versailles, 60-14. Webb City defeats Willard, 41-6. It was Rittenhour in the third quarter at last report over Webster Groves, 30-0. Nixa, they shut out Waynesville, 42-0. And as I understand it, they played their JV in the entire second half. And Jackson Cantwell catches a touchdown pass. The number one ranked lineman, number one ranked football player in his class, the 2025 class in the country, as a right tackle or left tackle, catches his first touchdown pass of his career. Next at 42, Waynesville nothing. Was Van Horn. Van Horn over Summit Christian, 28-13. Valley Catholic defeats Park Hill Central, 50-0. Was Trenton over Maysville, 48-22. Thayer defeats Ava, 34-8. It was St. Genevieve Lake over Fredericktown, 28-19. St. Vincent, 49, Cuba 16. And that has gone final. St. Pius, they defeat Benton, 57-0. In the fourth quarter, St. Joe Christian on top of King City, 34-20. Sullivan in the fourth leads St. James, 28-20. St. Francis Borgia defeats Holt, 21-7. St. Clair defeats Herman, 55-26. Warrenton over St. Charles, 35-0. That's final. Springfield Catholic, they hang on. They defeat Buffalo, 49-46. Also, final score: Centralia defeats South Shelby, 28-14. South Callaway defeats Fayette, 45-6. Jackson over Sykeston, 55-12. Also, a final: Seneca defeats McDonald County, 49-21. Crystal City, they defeat Duchesne, 22-7. Putnam County over Scotland County, 26-14. And Salisbury defeats Louisiana, 24-8. Final score: Rolla defeats St. Dominic, 33-6. St. Thomas Aquinas defeats Rockhurst, 14-13. Elsewhere final: Richmond defeats Holden, 34-26. Carthage, in a battle of two really good teams, Carthage defeats Republic, 31-14, and that may decide who wins the west side of the COC. And now we're joined by, we're joined by Ryan Boyer, head coach at Warsaw. Coach Boyer, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We're on our bus ride back here, so patching.
Yeah, Coach, you get a narrow victory tonight, but it's still in the win column. Tell us about the game.
Yeah, no, big conference game. For us, this is a conference championship. In order to win it outright. So we need to, Butler be ready to play. And they've always played us hard, played us physical, and gotten better over the last few years. So different, and we're at the beginning just had some mental errors, some breakdowns, and kind of all phases. But big deep breath when the halftime tied, came out and scored, and like I said, it didn't have to get it done. Where with other boys, sometimes games like these, one, fortunate to come out with a win, but two, you really learn a whole lot. They're a great wake up call for you.
Well, it sounded like a defensive battle. Who played well on the defensive side of the ball for you?
The kids flew around. Shane Poyser, he was able to get an interception, down inside the red zone, and that's huge as far as taking away some momentum. And linebackers just did a great job adjusting to their trap game. They did an excellent job with that. But Jason Priest and Josh Harvest, they settled in.
Very good. Well, Coach, did you come out of tonight's contest relatively healthy?
I did. That's always a plus, especially this time of year.
Well, tell us a little bit now about what you've got coming up here as we're going into the last two games of the regular season. What do you have on the docket there for your Warsaw?
We have one more at home next week with Cass Midway, and then we go on the road to finish out the regular season with Pleasant Hope. And we'll see. Just take it 1 week at a time. We'll see where the chips fall as far as how it looks in districts.
You bet. Where are you sitting right now in districts? I would assume you're at the top of that district.
Yeah, we were at 1. Stockton at 2, Lamar at 3, and it goes to Coxie, El Dorado, and some others in there. So just real close race.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, first off, congratulations on the victory and coming out of it relatively healthy, and safe travels on the way home.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Coach. That's Coach Ryan Boyer there from Warsaw as they get a victory, and they are the 1 seed in that district right now. And that's a tough district. Stockton's playing awful well, and Lamar's Lamar. They haven't been Lamar at this point this season, but they're used to it. I mean, I believe they've played in 12 of the last 13 state championship games. Or at least Final Fours there for the Lamar Tigers. So when it gets down to that time of the season, they know what to do. They know how to get there. They've been conditioned, and they know how to win the big game. So you can't ever count a Lamar team out as well. Continuing with the scores of Carthage over Republic, 31-14. Kearney defeats Raytown South 50-0. Orchard Farm over Principia 60-13. They're in the first overtime at Poplar Bluff as West Plains and Poplar Bluff are all tied up at 28. Lincoln defeats Lone Jack 46-32 as Platte County over Truman 77-7. Smithville defeats Pittsburgh 35-21. Penny over Lathrop, 48-7. Clark County in overtime defeats Palmyra 34-28. Glendale, 22. Ozark 21. Owensville Reunion 28-21, and that's still in the fourth. Trenton defeats Maysville 48-22. Osage defeats Boonville 33-7. Was Oric over Sweet Springs 52-22. Pleasant Hill defeats Odessa 42-21. Oak Grove shuts out Kansas City Central 50-0. In the fourth quarter, I apologize. I've got text coming in. The fourth quarter, it's Northwest over Slater, 34-30. Final score: Oak Park defeats North Kansas City, 28-21. It was North Andrew over Princeton, 64-52. In the fourth quarter, Mount Vernon leads Parkview 49-18. Final score: Mount Grove defeats Salem, 60-6. Elsewhere, final Rockport, they defeat Mound City, 46-16. Was Lamar over Monette, 45-22. Final score: Midway defeats Cole Camp, 22-14. Kirksville over Mexico, 28-13. Perryville defeats Marquette out of Illinois, 49-14. Was North Callaway over Mark Twain, 26-20. Marionville defeats Sarcoxy, 36-22. Salisbury over Louisiana, 24-8. Was Lincoln over Lone Jack, 46-32. Logan Rogersville they get back-to-back wins as they defeat Marshfield 34-26. Lockwood over New Heights Christian 92-58. It was Appleton City over Liberal 68-0. Lee Summit West defeats Staley 48-28. Lee Summit shuts out Rapec 42-0. Lawson defeats Monroe City 39-20. It was Lafayette County over Knob-Noster 49-13. Windsor defeats Versailles 60-14. Knox County over South Shelby 48-34. Lebanon over Kickapoo 49-21. Was Dexter over Kennett 53-0. East Prairie defeats Kelly 40-20. Joplin over Neosho 35-14. John Burroughs defeats Westminster Christian 35-10. It was Houston over Willow Springs. Houston over Willow Springs 49-6. Bolivar defeats Hillcrest 48-7. Was Macon over Highland 56-12. Herculaneum defeats Bayless 13-9. Was Pattonville over Hazelwood Central 27-0. Caruthersville defeats Hayti 48-16. Was Hannibal over Moberly 56-18. Southern Boone, they defeat Hallsville 48-28. Celsius Springs over Grandview 21-8. Was Milan over Gallatin 38-12. Marshall defeats Fulton 42-35. Stratford on top of Forsyth 49-33. El Dorado Springs defeats Sherwood 27-20. St. Clair over Herman 55-26. Cape Central over Farmington 54-14. Fairgrove over Reed Spring 49-8. East Buchanan Midway over Coal Camp 22-14. Crystal City over Duchesne 22-7. Mid Buchanan over West Platte 27-0. North Callaway over Mark Twain 26-20. Hillsboro over DeSoto 35-17. West Strand over Crestridge 42-0. Harrisonville over Clinton 12-0. Clever over Hollister 28-12. Savannah over Chillicothe 49-6. Nevada defeats Cassville 22-7. Carrollton over Lexington 23-20. Branson 40-7 over Carl Junction, and the battle of two head coaches that are brothers, Todd Hafner and Aaron Hafner. Aaron Hafner at Branson, they're 7-0, and Todd Hafner at Carl Junction. Camdenton over Hickman 38-21. It was Warsaw over Butler 13-6. Brookfield defeats South Harrison 48-6. Rockbridge over Columbia Battle 49-12. It was Aurora over East Newton 26-21. Albany defeats Stanberry 46-6. Adrian over California 35-0. It was Fort Zumwalt North over Fort Zumwalt South 35-14. Tipton over Lynn 58-12. Elias defeats Jeff City 51-0. Blair Oaks over Jeff City 63-0. Mid Buchanan over North Platte 41-21. Bramer defeats Schuyler County 64-34 was Gateway over Confluence Prep 31-6. Seckman last night defeats Parkway South 28-7. Also on Thursday night, 32-14 as Parkway North defeats Parkway West. It was Rockwood Summit last night, 38-35 over Ladue. Also from last night, Pembroke Hill defeats St. Mary's out of Kansas 65-20. And McClure defeats Parkway Central 18-12. Those are your scores as we have them at this time. And we come back, we'll run through some districts and look at possible matchups. And we'll start with Class 1. And we'll just kind of work our way through until I run out of a voice. You're listening to the Missouri Sports Network. It's Friday Night Live. I'm Guy Newcomb, and we'll be back after these messages from our sponsors.
In the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And now, Mission's site will not load, so we can't run through those districts. So I tell you what, I'm gonna run through the scores one more time here, and then we'll probably call it a night. We're halfway through the show. We've got most of the scores. And I apologize. I just saw an email from Kent, who's in our green room, that said he couldn't get in, but he's in there. But I didn't see it, Kent, if you can hear me. I didn't see it until just now. But, and I apologize if the audio from Coach Boyer was not the best. We're having some trouble with some technical trouble, which I think a lot of people are having. And the Mission site won't load, and I saw where Don West, who apologize. I lost audio there, I believe, for a second. Can everybody hear me now? Can you hear me now? So we are back. And the Mission website will not load, so I'm unable to run through. I'm unable to run through the the district standings, and it's week 7. I mean, we're nearly done with the regular season here. Just 2 more games remaining in the regular season. So a lot of folks are probably going to the Misha website right now, trying to load it to see where they are. To see where they are with regards to what their seeding might be. So we'll see. We'll see if it'll load. And if not, then we will jump off here. So what we'll do right now is we'll just run through the scores we'll go to a scoreboard guy, kind of refresh that page, and then we'll run through them. And at that time, if we can't get the Misha site to load at that time, we may just call it an evening here, 45, 50 minutes into the show. But first, I want to encourage you. Go to the website. Check out our athletes of the week. Check out our shows from Huddle Up to On Deck to Where Are They Now Wednesday to our morning updates and our high school game day. Do morning updates of the morning. Try and get those out about 7 o'clock. Maybe try and cover some of the scores from the night before. We do our Athletes of the Week interviews that we usually play on high school game day at 5 o'clock on Fridays. We've got Where Are They Now Wednesdays that airs Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Except this week it ended up going out Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and that was my fault. I had been under the weather, and I'm still a little bit under the weather, if you can tell. But, hey, we're powering through it. The show must go on. We'll bring in the high school football scores from last night first, presented by Saddle Ridge Golf and Country Club. Got to play out there today a little bit with some acquaintances. Had a really nice time. Got 14 holes in before I was summoned away. I know they got to finish, and they really enjoyed it as well. But, hey, check it out. Saddle Ridge, one of the nicest golf courses in the state of Missouri. Last night's scoreboard, MICDS over Lutheran South, 66-19. It was McClure over Parkway Central, 18-12. Parkway North defeats Parkway West, 32-14. Pembroke Hill over St. Mary's of Kansas, 65-20. Again, these are scores from last night. Rockwood Summit defeats Ladue 38-35. Seckman over Parkway South 28-7. And this evening, in 8-man football, brought to you by Bambino's Italian Cafe. Bambino's Italian Cafe hosting the Quarterback Club, Tip-Off Club, and the Leadoff Club for 2024-25 seasons. Join us each Monday during the season, except on holidays or snow days. We will be there. 11:30 East Battlefield and Lone Pines, $10. Come in here from the coaches in those particular sports from around Southwest Missouri and at the high school level and the college level. On tonight's scoreboard in 8-man football was Albany over Stanberry 46-6. Archie defeats Jasper 57-8. Concordia over St. Paul Lutheran 54-6. And I do not have Dennis Larson in our chat room here. Want to know if we had a Stockton Diamond score. So if anyone in the green room might have that, Dennis would appreciate a final from the Stockton Diamond game. Elsewhere, it was Hardin Central over Keatsville 72-12. North Shelby defeats Knox County 48-34. At this point, we do not have that final from Stockton and Diamond. But we are searching, Dennis, and we appreciate your message, and we will, as soon as we get it, we will let you know. It was North Shelby over Knox County 48-34. Appleton City defeats Liberal 68-0. Lockwood over New Heights Christian 92-58. Mound City defeats Rockport 46 to 16. Was Nottoway Holt over South Holt 50-0. Plattsburgh defeats Northland Christian 80-10. Was Northwest over Slater 42-32. Sweet Springs defeats Oric 52-22. Paris over Southwest 56-0. Bramer defeats Schuyler County 64-34. Platte Valley over Stewartsville 52-0. Tarkio defeats DeKalb 70-24. West Nottoway over South Holt 50-0. Worth County defeats Pattonsburg 94-32. In Class 1, was Ash Grove over Springfield Central 32-26. West Strand defeats Crestridge 42-0. Crystal City over Deshane 22-7. East Buchanan defeats West Platte 27-0. It was Milan over Gallatin 38-12. Caruthersville defeats Hayti 48-16. Tipton over Lynn 58-12. Lincoln defeats Lone Jack 46-32. Salisbury over Louisiana 24-8. Was Marionville 36, Sarcoxy 22. Midway over Cole Camp 22-14. Mid Buchanan over North Platte 41-21. It was Polo over Marceline 35-13. Putnam County defeats Scotland County 26-14. South Callaway over Fayette 45-6. St. Vincent defeats Cuba 49-16. Windsor over Versailles 60-14. Van Far defeats Rapid City 40-34. Bowling Green over Montgomery County 70-14 in Class 2. Brookfield over South Harrison 48-6. Warsaw defeats Butler 13-6. Carrollton over Lexington 23-20. Clever defeats Hollister 28-12. El Dorado Springs over Sherwood 27-20. Jefferson defeats Grandview 20-12. Macon over Highland 56-12. Houston over Willow Springs 49-6. East Prairie over Kelly 40-20. Lafayette County over Knob-Noster 49-13. Lawson defeats Monroe City 39-20. Lamar over Monette 45-22. In overtime, Clark County defeats Palmyra. You're welcome, Dennis. Hey, thanks for reaching out, Dennis. We appreciate it. I appreciate you tuning in, and we as soon as we can find that score, we'll get it to you. Centralia over South Shelby 28-14. Springfield Catholic over Buffalo 49-46. St. Teresa, Illinois over Priory 27-20. St. Clair defeats Herman 55-26. St. Pius the 10th over Miller Career 23-6. Diamond Stockton scores right there, but we don't have it yet, but we're working on it. Thayer defeats Ava 34-8. Valley Catholic over Park Hill Central 50-0. Fairgrove defeats Reed Spring 49-8. In Class 3, it was Nevada over Cassville 27-22. Savannah defeats Chillicothe 49-6. Blair Oak shuts out Eldon 63-0. It was Stratford over Forsyth 49-33. Herculaneum defeats Bayless 13-9. John Burroughs over Westminster Christian 35-10. Dexter over Kennett 53-0. Mountain Grove defeats Salem 60-6. Mount Vernon over Parkview 49-18. Oak Grove defeats Central Kansas City 50-0. Osage over Boonville 33-7. It was Seneca over McDonald County 49-21. Borgia defeats Holt 21-7. St. Pius the 10th over St. Joe Benton 57-0. Page 4 brought to you by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC. Carbondale, Illinois over Soldan 53-8. Branson over Carl Junction 40-7. DeSmet defeats Festus 42-13. Gateway over Confluence Prep, 31-6. Bolivar over Hillcrest, 48-7. Logan Rogersville over Marshfield, 34-26. Perryville over Marquette Catholic out of Illinois, 49-14. North County defeats Windsor, 14-12. Smithville, Kansas over Pittsburgh, Kansas, 35-21. Kearney defeats Raytown South, 50-0. Jackson over Sykeston, 55-12. Page 5. Green Valley over Belton, 57-22. Camdenton defeats Hickman, 38-21. St. Louis University High defeats Chaminade, 31-21. Cape Central over Farmington, 54-14. Francis Howell defeats Timberland, 56-26. It was Elias shutting out Jeff City, 51-0. Joplin hands Neosho their second loss of the season, 35-14. Lebanon, with heavy hearts, they defeat Kickapoo, 49-21. Eureka over Lafayette, 30-15. Glendale with a big win, back-to-back weeks, 22-21 over Ozark. Carthage defeats Republic, 31-14. Rolla over St. Dominic, 33-6. Elsewhere, Webb City defeats Willard, 41-6. Platte County over Truman, 77-7. Page 6, brought to you by the Bank of Billings. The Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian. Bank of Billings with 2 locations, one in Billings and one in Marionville, to better serve your banking needs. It was Blue Springs over Park Hill South, 61-17. Kirkwood, they defeat Marquette, 45-21. Lee Summit shuts out Ray-Pec, 42-0. Lee Summit West over Staley, 48-28. And Lee Summit North, they defeat Liberty North, 35-13. And that was a very close game late. Lee Summit North with a pick 6, returned for a touchdown. Well, obviously pick 6. In the fourth quarter there, kind of extended that lead, and then a fumble and got right back in the end zone. They were up 21-13 with about 4 minutes to go and won 35-13. St. Thomas Aquinas over Rockhurst, 14-13. CBC defeats Vianney, 63-3. Nixa shuts out Waynesville, 42-0. On the schedule for tomorrow will be KIPP KC Legacy at Christ Prep, Kansas. Pleasant Hope will travel to Hogan Prep. Hazelwood East will be at McClure North. University City will be at Normandy. Rich Hill will be at Osceola. Live for Life will be at Roosevelt. And St. Michael will be at University Academy. The mission website has opened, but now I'm getting the circle of death. So I'm not sure that we are going to be able to get to the districts here as we are working on it. And hey, once again, I encourage you, hey, sign up for X or Twitter. Follow at Scoreboard Guy. Or follow Missouri_sports. And tune in each and every week for all of the exciting shows that we have talking about not only current high school athletes, but former high school athletes that are playing at the NCAA level, Division I, II, or III. Where Are They Now Wednesdays airs every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Let's see if we can get this Class 1 district here to load. And there must be a lot of people going in and looking at it because it is taking forever to load. So I tell you what we're going to do. We've gotten all the scores up. You go to scoreboardguy.net or just go to MissouriSportsNetwork.com. Click on the scoreboard. There's a college scoreboard, I believe, and there's a college scoreboard and a high school scoreboard. There's also interviews that we've done with our athletes of the week. Our Teams of the Week sponsored by Liona. Athletes of the Week obviously sponsored by Chevrolet and presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. You can click on those links, go back into the archives, and watch things that are going on. But right now, with my voice leaving me and Misha website unable to load, we are going to cut this show short here, and I do apologize, but we're not having any luck with our audio or the Misha website and getting coaches to call in right now because our box is down. So that's tough to hear as well. But we do appreciate you listening, and I promise we will be getting these things rectified, and it may be just a snafu across the electronic world. As I saw many people having problems tonight with their streams, whether it be audio and video, just a lot of things going on here. Hey, it's Columbus Day on Monday, so whatever you got to put in the bank, do it tomorrow, because the banks will be closed on Monday. So anyway, well, I still haven't got that to load, so we're going to jump off here. I've stalled as long as I can. We've got all the scores. Go to MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Hey, for all you guys listening in, I tell you what we may do is I'm gonna search one more time for Dennis to see if I can find that Stockton Diamond score. So if you guys will indulge me and just be patient here, we'll see if we can't get that before we get off the air. For Dennis, and see what happens. And I'm not seeing anything. So I can give you a volleyball score, but not a Stockton Diamond football score. Now somebody just sent me something in on X. So let me just check that. Maybe they were listening there. But wherever you may be listening from, hey, I encourage you, hey, take that 3 seconds and put your seatbelt on. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. And Dennis, I apologize. We do not have a final for that. I've got one other place I can check if you'll indulge me here for a second. I'm just going to check. I'm just going to text the coach and see if he can tell me. And I know they played tonight, and they're Stockton's having a good year. Coach Rader was kind enough to join us at the Springfield Area Quarterback Club this past Monday, and his kind of a reunion of sorts, as his father actually hired my dad to a football coaching position about maybe 40 years ago. Okay. And he is typing. So I'm going to get this score for you, Dennis, before I get off here. I am texting it. Yes. We have a final. Coach Rader has just responded that Stockton defeats Diamond 50-8. So the Stockton Tigers continue to have a tremendous season. So Dennis, Ed, we got your scores for you, and we appreciate you guys reaching out to us there. And well, hey, we're here to please. So it took It took me a while, but I got it. So we will once again say thank you, and everybody have a great night. As always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart,